we have an example here with a frequency distribution table. 50 statistics students were asked how much sleep they got per school night, rounded to the nearest hour, and the results are shown in the table. And what we see here is that the variable is the hours of sleep. So it's the time that they slept measured in hours. And the values are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The frequency is the number of students who answered that particular value. So 2 students said that they slept 4 hours, 5 students said that they slept 5 hours, 7 students said they slept 6 hours, 12 students said they slept 7 hours, and so on. The relative frequency will be the percent of students. If I have done a good job, the total here will be 50. Remember, the notation is sum of frequencies with the Greek sigma. And then the relative frequency will be 2 divided by 50. 2 divided by 50 will be 4%. 5 divided by 50, 10%. 7 divided by 50, 14%. 24%. 28%. 14%. And 6%. If I have done a good job, these will add to 100%. I can find the cumulative relative frequency, which is the percent of students who slept less than or equal to that particular value, right? So 4% of students slept less than or equal to 4 hours, because it's only 2 of them. But then 14% of students slept less than or equal to 5 hours, because 10% slept 5 hours and 4% slept 4 hours. And then 28% slept 6 hours or 5 hours or 4 hours. And then 52% slept 7 or less hours. And then 80% slept 8 or less hours, and 94% slept 9 or less hours, and 100% slept 10 or less hours. If I'm asked to find the 28th percentile, I need to find the value of the data such that 28% of the data, 28% of the students said that they slept this much or less, and the 72% this much or more. So P28, which is a data value that corresponds to the 28th percentile, will be some number between 6 and 7. So I find that by averaging the two. So that will be 6.5 hours of sleep. If I want to find the median, between the 50% location, basically, the 50% location is in this group. So 25% of students, 25 of the 50 students said some number between 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 25 of the 50 students, the other 50%, said some number between 7, 8, 9, and 10. Therefore, the middle is where the cumulative relative frequency surpasses the 50%. So it is in this group, and that median, so that will be the median, will equal to that particular data value, which is 7 hours. If I want to find the 75th the third quartile, which is the 75th percentile, right? The notation is not 75%, but P75. Then that will be in this group, in the group that I had less than 75 before it, and as soon as I collected the values in that group, I surpassed the 75%. Therefore, P75 will be the data value that corresponds in the group that surpassed the 75%, and that will be 8 hours. Now, how do I do that in Excel? In Excel, if you want to use formulas, you have to have raw data. That means that these data values 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 must be written out as many times as they were answered. So here I have a list of data values that are 50 altogether, and they correspond to the frequencies that each of those data values was recorded. So when you have a frequency distribution table in Excel, you need to have converted it to raw data. So in Excel, there is a function called percentile that helps us find the percentile. So equals percentile, and I don't want to do the excluded because it returns the kth percentile, but exclusive of the endpoints. I have a small data set, so I want to include the endpoints. I'm going to highlight all the 50 values from 4 to 10. And now that I did it, Excel has entered the range is B47 to B96, and then here comma, and I want the 28th percentile, so it needs the percentile as a decimal, 0.28. And you notice here that it didn't say 6.5, it actually said 6.72. And the reason it does that is because there are only 7 6s and there are more 7s. There are 12 7s. So it actually uses a ratio to skew towards the majority of the values, thinking that this may be a continuous variable, which is not. So it doesn't find just the average between the two values. It actually finds some kind of average between the 7 6s and the 12 7s. Be aware of that. Excel does a little more math in the background than we are requiring you to do. The extra credit project for chapter 2 asks you to do some kind of investigation like that, and why Excel doesn't average two values of discrete values of the variable. So the median equals quartile inclusive, the same array. Remember that it has to be raw data for Excel to do the job, comma, the median is quartile 2, and it will say it is 7. And then I'm gonna just copy this formula here for the third quartile, and I'm gonna change the 2 to a 3 to find Q3, which is 8. And these agree with the values that I found manually by hand. Of course, I could have also done the math here in Excel to find the percent of students and the cumulative relative frequency. This is part of your project, so you can watch the videos on how to do that for the project videos. Let's go back. There are some formulas to manually find the kth percentile. Again, we prefer to use technology, but when you do your homework online in Lumen, it might ask you to do this manually, so just be aware. The position I of the ordered data value that represents the kth percentile is k divided by 100 times n plus 1, n being the total number of data values. So I will be the location of the data values, the data value that you are looking for to represent the percentile. Remember that that location is the place if the data is arranged in order from smallest to largest. K is the percentile that they are asking you to find. It has to be written as an integer so that when you divide it by 100, it becomes the correct decimal. And n is the number of data values in the set. Now, the data must be ordered, like we said, and if I is not an integer, then you're going to round it up and down and find the two positions that contain the kth percentile and average the two. And as a reminder, Excel will not necessarily average the two numbers. So you have to remember that if you use Excel to answer the OM homework, then the OM homework expects for you to be averaging two values only, instead of skewing it in some direction based on the frequencies of those values. So just make sure you can identify where what the two values were and just average them manually. Now, there is also a formula for finding the percentile of a given value. That means if I tell you the data value, to tell me what kind of percentile that is. So if you can find the number of data values less than x and the number of data values equal to x, and n is the total number of data values, then the percentile of the value x equal to q will equal to L plus 1/2 of E divided by n times 100, rounded to the nearest integer. And we will do an example here. This data is arranged in order from smaller to largest. N is equal to 29. These are ages for Academy Award-winning best actors in order from smaller to largest. And if they want us to find the percentile for the data value 58, then remember here that I will have n equal to 29. I'm looking for the value of L. L is the number of data values that are less than 58. So all of these, how many are they? So I'm going to count them, and when I count them, they are 18. How many values are equal to 58? There is only one. What is Q? Q is 58, right? That's the data value I'm looking for. And then they are asking me to find the percentile of Q. So percentile of 58 will be L, which is 18, plus 0.5 times 1 divided by n, which is 29, and multiply that by 100, and this number will be the percentile. So that, if you round it to the nearest integer, is 64%. So that's the 64th percentile. If I want to find the percentile for data value 25, so 25 is here. is the number of data values less than 25, and there is only 3. E is the number of data values that are equal to 25, and there is only 1. The percentile of 25 will equal to 3 plus 0.5 times 1 divided by 29 and times that by 100. And that comes out to be 12 if you round it to the nearest whole number. So it's the 12th percentile. Now, how do we interpret percentiles? P% of the data is less than or equal to the PF percentile. This could be good or bad. If my 3-year-old daughter is in the 85th percentile for the height, she is tall. She's a tall girl. But if my 3-year-old daughter is in the 85th percentile for the weight, then she is a chubby 3-year-old. Our final example is about Sharp Middle School that is applying for a grant to be used to add fitness equipment to the gym. The principal surveyed 15 anonymous students to determine how many minutes a day the students spent exercising. The results from the 15 anonymous students in minutes and in order. No, they are not in order. They were from 0 to 100 to 300, I see. We want to find the minimum, the quartiles, median, maximum, all of this. Are there potential outliers? If you were the principal, would you be justified in purchasing new fitness equipment? So pause the video, try to find the 5-number summary. I strongly recommend that you use Excel. You have the data in the Excel file that is supplied for you. And restart the video to continue. So if I use my technology, I find that the first quartile is 20 and the third quartile is 60. The interquartile range is 60 minus 20, which is 40 minutes. If I multiply that by 1.5, that's 60 minutes. So the lower fences and the upper fences are 60 minutes below quartile 1 and 60 minutes above quartile 3. So reasonable values for use of equipment would be negative 40 minutes to 120 minutes. And we do have one student who spends 300 minutes a day exercising. And that is our outlier. If I were the principal, would I be justified in purchasing new fitness equipment? Of course, if I am the principal, I would like to get the grant and I would like to purchase fitness equipment to the gym. So I want to use my statistical analysis to make a case of why I would need to justify the purchase of the equipment. And basically, I would say that I have students who use the equipment as much as 300 minutes a day, which is 5 hours. So maybe that's a little too much if you are in the school, in the middle school. But you also want to say that I have at least 75% of my students using the equipment 20 or more minutes every day. So the minutes are put in good use. It's very helpful for the students. And basically, I would like to increase that percentage of 25% of students going less than 20 minutes to more than that, so that I can have more students exercise and have good fitness. And therefore, I would like to purchase new equipment so that I can attract students to use the equipment more. As part of our glossary, remember what we learned in this section: the first quartile, the interquartile range, the median and outlier, the percentile, and the quartiles.